Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
Good Saturday afternoon out there, everyone. I'm Jason Salzman.
And I'm Neely Soodle.
And welcome to your number one source for Native American television news.
Native News Today.
And Neely, we just want to wish all of our viewers out there a very Merry Christmas. It's festive time of year. Happy holidays, absolutely. Here on Native News Today, this is kind of our Christmas episode, but we've got lots of great things, including some unofficial results from the second chief election. We will have now a runoff on January 10th between Lewis Hicks and A.D. Ellis.
That's right, and we will also have highlights from the forum. We've got a lot of highlights, actually, so if you didn't know who you were going to vote for, this should help you out.
Absolutely. You're going to hear exclusively from just those two candidates. So you'll get a great idea where they stand and just in time for the January 10th election coming up. Also, you visited with lobbyists, the Watts Partners in Washington, D.C. Also went over to Okemah for a big event there involving a pedestrian bridge. So lots of great things on Native News. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this first break.
I pledge to embrace and educate offenders in an effort to stop their abuse.
I pledge to all women to love them, protect them, and teach them that violence does not belong in our communities and is not our tradition.
I pledge to take full responsibility for myself and the women and children of the Muskogee Nation.
I pledge to work courageously and audibly to fulfill this pledge for the rest of my life.
We believe if you teach a man to fish, you can feed him for a lifetime. We believe that transitioning convicted citizens back into our communities enhances public safety. We believe that every citizen, even ex-prisoners, are important and are capable of change. We believe in reclaiming our citizens and investing them back into a culture that embraces healing and restoration.
We believe
in reintegration. And welcome back to Native News Today. I'm Neely Soodle along with Jason Salzman. We have the unofficial results of the election.
Yes, and it's a runoff. It's going to be a runoff between A.D. Ellis and Lewis Hicks. And a lot of people out there made it to our candidate forum that Muskogee Media hosted at the Mound Auditorium. Great turnout, lots of people. But we realized not everybody could be there, and so we wanted to kind of shrink it down. Now you have each answer from both runoff candidates right here exclusively on Native News Today.
Well, first off, you elect the right person in there. Somebody that's honest, experienced, and I think I've proven over the years I've done that honestly, effectively. But I don't agree with credit cards in the hands of politicians. If they are, you can program them where they're only good for gasoline or oil or something. You don't have to, they should never be programmed to assess tribal funds. And I think that's a big part about it. The chief could delegate that money to some other program, or the council could pass a resolution to change that. And there is time when citizens come in for emergencies, and there got to be some way to figure it out to get it to them quick without having to wait on a controller to write a check or anything. But that's what I would do.
Ethics, morals, and transparency. I think those are the three most important things you can do. As far as the money's concerned, I think that this little deal we had in the past month or so should never been done. Had we had some morals and had some ethics and had some transparency, I don't think we'd be here tonight. But you know, in the last 35 years, 27 of those years, I had a small deep-ended school where all the monies had to be accounted for, all the monies were accounted for, and so as far as business is concerned, I think I can take care of that part of it. I think that transparency, I think that this should have been caught long before it got to this point. Somebody dropped the ball. And I think that we need to have some oversight, regardless of what department it comes out of. I think that as citizens, I think you as citizens need to be concerned and come forward and check on these things. And so with that, and again, you have to have ethics. If you don't have those things, you don't have anything. You don't have anything for you guys. So think about those things, and I think we'll have a good election. Thank you.
I was the first chairman of the Benson Enterprise. We created it back in about 2002 or somewhere around there. And I'd like to correct the question. I've been told that the National, excuse me, the National Council last month passed a law to remove the second chief as chairman. Somebody told me that. But anyway, going with it, it was set up to create revenue for the tribe, and we've always took priority in hiring Creek people. And we all want to hire Creek people there, but there comes a time when we don't get the job done. A lot of the other tribes you'll know have hired non-Indians to control the business, get the contracts, and then hire the Indian people and train them. The Cherokee Nation is a good example. Our business enterprise and trade and commerce has rolled along here for about 14 years. And they pay a little bit to try to understand, but nothing like we should have. We should have 1,000 jobs out there and good contracts, but we just haven't been able to do it ourselves. There's another way besides trying to do it ourselves. We got to depend on people from the outside. We got to pay them a good salary. You can't pay somebody a small salary and get small work for it, but I believe that's what we need to do. Thank you.
As a board member, I think that we need to go back and look and sit down with them. And I don't know everything about the NBC, but I think that I can sit down with them, see what's going on, see what we need to do, and see where we need to go. You know, I talked to a young lady today about her schooling, where she's been, what she's done. In the past, she just finished her I believe her master's, and she said, I can't get a job at Creek Nation. Well, why not? We need to go back and vouch for our kids. We need to go back and talk up for them, and so that they can get these jobs. And I know this young lady, I know she's smart, she's intelligent, she just can't get the job. Why? I don't know. But again, as far as the economic development is concerned, you know, we need to bring those kids out of our college and put them in these positions. I know that we're at a ground floor right now, and I know that we need experts. These experts can be our teachers for our kids. You know, we've got to start somewhere. And if we don't talk to our kids, if we don't show them the opportunities that they have, we're going to be in the same position we are now. So it's going to be up to us, it's going to be up to you to talk to those kids, go back and say, hey, you have that opportunity. Let's get it done. And so we need to get them there. Thank you.
Well, of course, I'm going to say experience, but I served 4 years there. Honesty, dedication, not afraid to let the tribe know what's going on, have an open office, open door office. And I think the second chief, it depends on the chief, what duties he delegates to him, but going out among the people is very important. I spent many days out among the people, and with the elders and just the schools and things. I think a second chief position is well, it's representative, the principal chief's office. And he can delegate what he wants the second chief to do, but you gotta work together. You got to be a team. You get to support the principal chief's office. And it's, well, you got to watch your budget and take part with the National Council. It's a big part with the National Council, and just an honest, straightforward office, open office.
Other than what's been outlined in the Constitution, I think working with the chief and the authority that he gives you is one of the main things that a second chief has to do. The other thing I think he needs to be a communicator. You know, going to these forums, going to these meetings, you know, you hear the communities having all kinds of issues and problems and things like that. And I think a lot of these things can be solved if you go communicate with them, go to their meetings, see what's going on, and then bring those things forth to the higher level. You know, on the way over here, I went to a dinner today, and on my way home, I read up on the billboard and said, the Muskogee Way. You know, when we went to the dinner today, I talked to a gentleman, you know, one of the leaders. I don't know if we call him an elder or not, but I talked to him, and he said, you know, he said we could have, with the money that they acquired through the year, he said, you know, we could have bought a ham for all of our people, or, you know, the members and things like that, or bought a turkey, or, you know, and let them have a good Christmas. Instead, he said, we served the meal for everybody to come. That's the Muskogee way. And I think that this is what we have to do. I think this is what you have to do as a second chief, is to go out and talk to those people. Bring it back to the nation and see what we can do for them. You know, there's so many entities to Creek Nation, elders, communities. Thank you. 5 years ago, I was working for Creek Nation as the Director of Human Development. And I see some of the people I used to work with here at night, and I'm glad to see them. During that time, I would go out and visit with these people, and I think this is one of the greatest things that you can do as a leader, or let's say a director, or whatever you want to call it, is to go out and visit with these people and see what's going on in those departments, or see what's going on in your Creek Nation. And so, again, this is what I want to do, is go visit with the people and visit with the departments and see exactly what's going on. You know, another thing I'd like to do is, working with the administration, is to, before I say anything about that, I don't know everything about maybe what the second chief is supposed to do, or what's going on inside the Creek Nation. This is what I'd like to do, is sit down, and I can get more things done, just sit down, visit with people, and talk about just different things, you know, just kind of off the wall. I like to sit down with the chief 2 or 3 times a week, just sit down and have coffee with him, discuss things with him, not so much personal things, but things going on in the nation, so that we can find out what's going on. I can find out more there than I can by a lot of times going to this meeting or that meeting, or things like that. So again, I'd like to bring those things, bring those acknowledgments to these different departments, and exactly see what's going on with that, and see what's going on with the chief and even the council. Thank you.
Well, I've never been a part of this administration, and tell it like it is. I don't agree with everything that's going on. But the second chief, it wouldn't be my call. And it would never be my call again. But the chief here and I worked for years and years on the council together, and many other things together, and we always agreed to disagree. But that was one of our agreements. So if the chief wanted to work with me, I'd work with him, and with our combined experience in the tribe, we should do wonders together. And it would be for the Creek people. This 11 months, we couldn't accomplish a whole lot, but at least we get it all straightened up and make the people, give the people something to respect again in the second chief's office. Thank you.
This kind of goes back to the last question. Working diligently with the administration and directors or secretaries now, what they're called, and the communities, the citizens, the elders, the students, all of these things are part of our Creek Nation now. So we need to work on these things, and this is something that we're going to have to do in this next 11 months. You know, we need to bring back a little pride, and you know, I don't want to brag, but I do know several people that and good people, leaders that we can speak to, that they can bring their message to others, so that we can bring that pride back to our nation. And I think this is the ultimate goal right now. We've kind of got a black eye, and we need to fix that. So hopefully in the next 11 months, through communication with our communities and with our citizens, I think we can do that. And it has to be a positive communication. It has to be both ways. And we have to come and meet terms in the middle. So before I quit here, I want to thank all of you for being here tonight, and thank Mark. Thank you.
I guess I'm a tribal elder compared to all these young people here in Kansas. But I have been there, spent 4 years there, and when I seen this opening, I didn't need a job. I'm not looking for a stepping stone to another job. I just knew that if I'm elected, I can step in the first day and go to work. The first thing I would do, if elected, I would pull the budget for last year, line item budget for the second chief's office, and see what line items are justified to the National Council to get that money. And then I would pull this year's budget. I understand the second chief had 4 assistants, 4 secretaries. I only need 1. There can be money saved. You have to know how to do it. But if the principal chief would let me, I would run that office the way it's supposed to be and save money in the process. Thank you.
And moving right along in our coverage, we had a very neat story out of Okemah. Neely, you went and covered the Muskogee Creek Nation implementing a pedestrian bridge, and it really all started from a concerned citizen.
That's right. There was a lady there that had a small business there right in the area of some neighborhood homes, and she noticed a lot of kids going through unsafe neighborhoods, so that's how it all got started.
Yeah, and she contacted Okemah City Manager. They both got together, said, we've worked with Creek Nation before, let's do it again, make it happen. We were so glad to be there as they had a ceremony. Children in Okemah will have an easier time making it to school these days, thanks to what all started as a concern from a local resident.
My husband owns this car lot, and one day I was down here and the little kids were going in the ditch and we didn't have anybody to help them cross or anything, and I thought, hey, why can't we have a bridge?
Now they do have a bridge, thanks to a 4-way collaboration led by funding of the project from the Muskogee Creek Nation Transportation Department. Joan Wilson and Okemah City Manager Jerry Turner knew the city's history with the tribe, so a natural partnership was the way to go.
Jerry Turner and I went to the Creek Nation and talked to Charlie Lesarge, and he got the ball rolling.
As soon as they got through talking, we started working on getting other entities involved, and we contacted the Ofusky County Commissioners and asked them for their assistance, and they said, sure, we'll do whatever you need us to do. So, and then we got with the ODOT to see if they would be willing to come in and put some crosswalks in or something to get the kids across Highway 27. So everything just fell together real good, and we finally got it completed.
For Lesarge, working together with different city and state agencies to better the communities within the tribal jurisdiction has become a common practice, and in this case was something that benefits the younger generation for years to come.
It shows a lot of collaboration with 4 different entities, and also it's more or less done for the safety of our Creek kids coming from our complex over there. Instead of going through the ditches, they have a safe passage over on the pedestrian bridge to get over. And then, as you notice, that ODOT came in and put the crosswalks in and signs for us, so it's more safer for them to cross Highway 27 here that is traveled real heavy to get to school in the mornings and afternoons and back home.
Bridge engineer Tom Edwards knew the process would take time and effort, but is very pleased that the city now has this helpful structure.
Well, it's real exciting to see it finished. We've been working on it a long time, and projects like this are good for the kids, good for the safety of the people here. So yeah, it's just been a long struggle to get it done. It's finally here, and we're proud of it.
And as for Joan Wilson, the concerned citizen that got all this started over 2 years ago, well, she couldn't be happier with the results.
I think it's wonderful. Wonderful. I'm real proud.
And our next feature takes us to Washington, D.C. Actually took you to Washington, D.C.
That's right. I spent the afternoon with Chief Tiger and the Chief of Staff there in Washington and kind of just sat there and shadowed them to see what they do when they are there with a lobbyist.
Yeah, and it's a very unique look. I think it's you're not going to see this anywhere else, and to Tribal Video Team to be able to go in and see our administration working with lobbyists to try to make things happen on Capitol Hill. It's a great look in and a great job going to get this story.
2 days spent in the Senate office building meeting with Senate representatives back to back. On this day, Chief George Tiger and Chief of Staff Dr. Bo Colbert spent the second day focusing on the 18.3 parcels of land waiting to be transferred to trust at the Fountainhead Resort. Lobbyist Steve Pruitt is heading up the effort.
We are definitely going to achieve the objective of getting that transfer of the initial 18.3 acres completed. It's a matter of time. We may get it done before the end of calendar year 2014, depending upon the legislative process. I think thanks to the Chief's visit here, we've been able to build some momentum going into these last weeks of Congress that we needed behind the effort. We've gotten folks focused on it.
The Watts Partners headquarters is located not far from the Senate office building near the nation's capital. The team also consists of attorney Lauren Saper and founder and owner J.C. Watts, the former OU quarterback from Eufaula.
It's been a great relationship, and I think one of the reasons it's been good on our part is because Chief Tiger and Dr. Colbert's been so open in their communications, and I hadn't had to worry about 10 or 15, 20 different agendas. And I had said when we were hired, I'd said to the council that it helps if whatever concerns you have, we can filter them through one channel, because I didn't want to put myself in a situation or put us in a situation that I'm having to be concerned about offending somebody here, offending somebody there, offending this.
Outside, Pruitt and Saper have a car waiting to transport Tiger and Colbert to their next meeting place. Today, it was back-to-back meetings with representatives from Senators Harry Reid, Barbara Boxer, James Inhofe, and a liaison from the Senate Indian Affairs Committee. During each visit, the representatives had the opportunity to hear firsthand from Chief Tiger and his hope to gain the remaining parcels of land at Fountainhead. A lobbyist's job is to persuade Congress to support a business, organization, or cause. They get paid to win favor from politicians. So far, Pruitt says they've made pretty good headway. When they first teamed up with the Creek Nation, there were 64 parcels of land they concentrated on, hoping to turn it into trust. Now it's down to 20.
There was a backlog, so one of the first assignments we had was to come up with a strategy to tackle that problem, and we designed a proposal to BIA to allow the Creek Nation to become a demonstration project and take what you have already in terms of programs and operations in the government and use that to supplant some of the activities that the BIA was reviewing, like you were a small tribe. So we convinced them that the Creek Nation was a mature organization, had the capacity to take on all of the tasks and move the appropriate protocols and paperwork to the point of getting final approval to bring various lands into trust.
Pruitt said gaining the area at Fountainhead is crucial for the tribe's overall economic development.
I think thanks to the chief's visit here, we've been able to build some momentum going into these last weeks of Congress.
The Watts partners admit it's been challenging taking the Creek Nation's concerns to Congress. However, it's also been a learning and rewarding experience.
And so I grew up in a very diverse community. And so I understood Native American culture. And so I've grown up around it all of my life. I was really honored when Chief Tiger called and said, hey, we want representation in Washington and we want you to be a part of our team.
And I want to say thank you to the Watts partners. I learned a lot in a little bit of time there. And I did ask JC one question that didn't make the package, and if he'll run for any kind of seat again.
Yeah, well, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, you know, one of the things that he's done a lot of things in his career. I think one of the things he's proudest of is he calls he's shares the same hometown with Jason Salzman.
And he does. What I didn't know is he has his wife and their kids are Creek.
Yeah, it's wonderful. He grew up around it and the culture, so we think it's just great that they're doing great work. So we want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and thank you for joining us this week. Always catch us on YouTube if you can't catch us here, and then go on our Facebook page too.
That's right, and you will always see some of the stories that didn't quite make the show. So again, happy holidays to everyone.
Absolutely, everyone make it a good one. And a great new year as well. So we will see you all next week. Be looking for our best of 2014. It's going to be exciting.